Hey everybody, anyone is here, and today we are back on the RAC PACK server, and for those of you who are observant, you can see I have all my stuff back. Yes, we are me. We are not the clone anymore. We are the original, one and only neonerz. And the way I did that is actually pretty funny. So, I pretty much figured out that I had to fight another wither. Or at least I came up with the idea that I was just going to fight another wither. So I set up this nice little set of armor. And I grabbed a couple wither skeleton heads. I made a diamond sword, which isn't too bad. And I went to fight the wither. And I died. But what I did not realize, and which is a really cool thing to find out, is when you have a clone in a collector, in a collection thing, storage, yeah, that's what it's called. When you have a clone in a shell storage and you die, you teleport instantly to that clone. So when I died fighting the wither, I came back in my own body. Very, very cool. And yes, so we have done a couple things, as you can see, with the shell storage. I moved it back, and I'll explain why in a second. You could also see that I have another clone right here. And again, just moving my mic. I have another clone right here, and this is my backup clone. This is where I want to spawn when I die. And the way we're going to do that is a really cool mechanic that if I make a bed, and I should have all the materials to make a bed. I better have all the materials to make a bed. That'd be really weird if I didn't. If I make a bed, and then I believe if I shift right click on this, or just right click. Yeah, there you go. Okay. The light turned blue, and now this is my home spawning point. Yes, and then what else I read, which is pretty interesting, is if I use an ID tag, I can actually name it, and it will show up. So I wanted to do that, and I don't have any name tags left. I found a couple of them from my quarries, but I've used them all. Oh, you know, I've never shown this before. One of the things I used it for is I found a skeleton wearing my exact armor. So apparently, one of the mobs adds a chance that a mob will spawn with your armor. So I found that. I did that. It was pretty cool. I put them in this glass box. I named them neonerz. This is us in the future. But luckily, we have a long time before we get there. Anyway, so I ran out of all my name tags. But what I found out was one of the mods adds a recipe for a name tag. And I actually thought I had it left in here, but apparently I did not. So let's just make one. Very, very cheap also. Of course. Of course you can, Benchy. Anyway, so now, I believe if I name this... Let's get... Oh, I should have been able to go up there, but whatever. Okay. If I name this in an anvil, and... Oh, I don't... Yeah, I have XP. We will name this... I guess... Spawn. I guess that's good enough. I'm not really that good at naming things. We'll name it Spawn, and now if I right-click this with this. Yes. Okay. So now that's named, and what is that cool for? Well, that means, and we don't need this bed anymore. We're just going to toss it, because we already have a bed. We're fine with that bed. Now when I go into here, as you can see, I have one at the bottom named Spawn with a little house next to it, showing that when I die, that is where I am going to spawn to. Now, as you can see, there's actually another one right above me. And I wonder where that goes. Yes, it goes to the moon. I've already installed the shell storage on the moon. So now we can quickly go back and forth between these two places. Now, one thing, as you guys know, and I mentioned last time, it does not take your inventory. So what I have done is I've put a public ender chest, red, green, blue, to put next to storage cells, next to these shell storages. And that way, if you need to bring anything with you, you can just drop it in there and the other side pick it up. More importantly, I made myself a second set of gear, just the bare essentials that I will need whenever I come to the moon. Very, very cool. And as you can see, I'm slow. I'm going to have to work on some armor. I want to make some boots of the travelers, but as I mentioned in a prior episode, my Thorncraft area is broken, so I can't really do it just yet, but I will. But unfortunately, it is night out on the moon, so I can't really work on, at the moment, what I wanted to work on. I don't know how much time we have left, because you obviously can't look up at the moon, because you're on it. So we will come back here at a later time this episode. Let's just go back to our overworld. That's our normal body. And let's just go back there and we will see what I have done so far, prepping up for the data center, because I have done a lot. So let's get down into the basement. And I started adding recipes to the assembly chamber. And I was having a lot of fun doing it. So let's just open it up. And I haven't added a ton of things, but I added a lot of thermal expansion stuff I use on a regular basis. Last time we made these encoded patterns, but I've also added all this good stuff. Now, two things that I did add, or a couple things that I added, were a little hard to do. And that was particularly, let's see, well, being able to auto-craft a energy tesseract. What is this? The redstone energy cell, not a tesseract, as well as, you know what, let's look at it this way so we can actually see them. Being able to craft the redstone energy cell frame full, as well as things like the redstone energy conduit, a bucket of a resonant ender. The reason why that's difficult is because this takes two processes. You know, for example, for the redstone energy conduit, you first have to melt down redstone into molten ender and then fill this up with a liquid transposer. So it's multiple steps, and the ME interfaces aren't really made for that. But there is a way around it, and I think it's pretty cool. So as you can see, I've already started building this room out a little bit. Looks a little prettier. I don't think I'm going to spend too much time on making this room look right, because this is just going to be a behind-the-scenes machine room, etc. And as you can see, I have two sets right here of a magma crucible and a fluid transposer, right? So these are what I use to make either energy cells, energy conduits, yeah, I was right the first time, energy conduits, or energized item ducts, stuff like that. And then this is where I would use to fill up an ender bucket or fill up the energy cell with resonant ender. And the way to do it is a little clever, I would like to say. It's anybody who really sits here and thinks about it could probably figure it out, but I like the idea. And the idea is pretty simple. So we have this. We tell this, let's just put this inside of a padding encoder. Actually, a partition editor, so you can actually see it. No, you can't see it that way, can you? Can you see it if I put it in here? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, you can. Okay. So as you can see here, I'm telling this pattern encoder that 2 redstone and 1 energy conduit empty equals a full redstone energy conduit. Okay. So far, so good. Very easy. So that means whenever I need to make one of these redstone energy conduits, this is going to request 2 redstone and a empty energy conduit. That is going to be put into this chest. Now, this chest is always pumping out with no rules. Inside of here is the redstone, saying it can only allow redstone in here, as well as glowstone, ender pearls, stuff that I'm going to melt down. And then in here is only that allows the stuff that I'm going to fill up. And then the magma crucible is feeding its output into here. So basically what happens is, and this is the clever part, this requests the 2 redstone and the empty energy conduit and puts it into this chest. And then this starts waiting for the actual full energy conduit to come into the system. So this chest pumps the redstone into here and the energy conduit into here. This cooks the redstone, puts it into here. This fills it up. And then behind here, and if I go down into a darkling state, you could probably see it. I have can I see it? Yeah. A precision import bus, which will take the full redstone energy conduit out of here. And then once that happens, the crafting monitor, the crafting system, registered as complete, and it is done. Worth mentioning, the only reason why I used a precision import bus instead of just a basic import bus is because the precision import bus just seems to suck things out faster. That's just pretty much it. When I was using the basic ones, it just seemed to sit in the inventory for a couple seconds longer. And once you start actually crafting things that are multi-parts, the cooking time really does add to it. So any seconds you could shave off really is helpful. And then this would be pretty much the same thing. So if I need to fill up a tesseract or a redstone energy cell frame, I just request it from here. This pulls down the needed materials, puts it into here. Whatever needs to be melted goes into here. Whatever needs to be full goes to here. And then there is a precision bus behind it. Very, very cool. And even though I have a lot of those things, I do, I'm going to craft one. You know what? I think I have a bunch of tesseracts, actually. I do. But you know what? I guess it can't hurt to have another tesseract. So we are going to, not a full, we are going to actually, let's do this from the other side so you can actually see it working. We are going to request a tesseract because that takes quite a few steps. And just to really show it off, we are going to remove everything out of it. Okay, so we don't have any Enderium blend in there. Very good. Oh, wait. We did have Enderium, though? Oh, no, we don't have any Enderium in there. Do we have... I just want to make sure everything that a Tesseract needs to be crafted. So Pyrethium. Because if you remember, a Tesseract takes quite a few steps. So first you need to make the Tesseract frame, which uses Enderium. Enderium uses the Enderium blend, which is made from a bucket of resident enders. So we are going to have to do quite a bit to get this. And I do think... Oh, and I don't even have a bucket of... Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I am in... Yeah. I was in just craft mode only. Okay, now let's take a look. Because I thought I had some of that stuff. Yeah, we did. So we'll take that out. We'll take that out. We don't have any of that. Pyrethium we should have. Yeah, we'll take that out. Again, I just want to see it do everything. Cool. Well, actually, let's just make sure we do have a Tesseract in here. We do have a Tesseract frame full. All right, so we get all that stuff out. Now we are going to request it. So we are going to request... How many did we have in our inventory? Just one. Cool. So we can make only one, because you always use them in pairs anyway, right? So we will begin one. So as you can see inside the crafting monitor, the first thing it's going to make is a frame. So in order to do that... Wait. It's actually crafting the frame, isn't it? A Tesseract frame. Do I not have... That can't be right. Waiting for a Tesseract frame. We have it. What do we need in here? Tesseract frame full. Oh, yeah, there we go. We're actually making the Tesseract frame full. So we've already created the Tesseract frame. We must have had one in there and I missed it. Pulled it into there. Pulled it out, and now it just crafted it. Cool. That was very anticlimactic. Sorry, I didn't realize I actually had a Tesseract frame. You know what? Let's do this again, just so we have to actually make the Tesseract frame, even though this is a horrible waste of Tesseracts. We will make one more, just so it has to actually make this, which makes, presumably, have to make everything else. Yeah, okay. One more time. Just to prove it. I want to prove it. It really works. Begin. Okay, so now it's got to do all this. So it's queuing up everything it needs. It made the pulverized coal. It's now cooking. Well, actually, no. It is making a bucket of Enderium, so it can make the Enderium blend. It must have cooked already the Pyrethium dust, because it doesn't need that anymore. So then once this is completed, it should be able to craft the Enderium blend in a second. That should get done. There's nothing else going on there, right? No. It also has to work on tin. So, do we have tin in this macerator? Oh, we do have a... Oh, maybe it's using the wrong... It is. It's using the wrong recipe for tin. Okay, so we're going to put that one tin in there. We'll have to fix that. That's no problem. Damn it. Hold on one second. Let me fix this. Okay, we're back, and let's do this again. It didn't realize... Basically what happened was the recipe for this... Let's just get into there. The recipe for the Enderium blend. It's in here somewhere. Where is Enderium? Come on. Whatever. The recipe for the Enderium blend also included other types of tin, which I didn't have. So that should be fine. So let's get the Tesseract going. We want to craft a full Tesseract. Begin. See, it made the Enderium. It's using the pulverized tin. It needs more, so it's making more. Once it gets that, made all the Enderium it needed. Well, it's making the Enderium right here. Very cool. Does that have... No, it doesn't. So once that Enderium is done and has enough of it in here, it needs 2 more. It's going to make the Tesseract frame, and then it will put together the full Tesseract, which is really, really cool. There you go. That's completed. And then it should be working. What is it waiting for? A Tesseract full frame. Once that fills up, we will have ourselves a Tesseract. Very, very cool. I might change out some of this stuff. So like this redstone furnace, I might actually replace with, I know you're all going to cringe when I say this, but an industrial craft induction furnace and maybe a macerator, just because with upgrades and the fact and the induction furnace in general, it's a lot quicker. I'm sorry, thermal expansion, but you just don't give me any way to upgrade this stuff. And to be honest with you, I don't like waiting for things. But as you've seen, it made the Tesseract. Very cool. That is awesome. I'm happy with the way it came out. It's giving us everything we need. And yeah, very fun. So, let me wait for it to become daytime out, because there is some work we have to do on the moon. Daytime on the moon, of course, is what I mean. A problem that we're having right now, and you could probably see it if I open up Opus. Anybody who doesn't know, Opus is a server admin's dream. It will easily tell you where issues are. But anyways, let's just take a quick look over here, and if you look, my moon base is pretty high on this list. So is this. I'm going to have to look into this. I think this might be... I don't know whose base that is. But if you look over here, this is pretty high. And why is it high? These oxygen collectors are very, very laggy. This should be in the single digits, let alone triple digits. So we are going to change this up a little bit. But once it becomes daytime on the moon, I will show you exactly how we plan on doing that. So, let me hang out here, wait for the day to come on the moon, and we'll be right back. Okay, we are back on the moon, and it is daytime, and you'll notice a couple things have changed here. Let me just get my rapier out, because it just Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Okay. It just became daytime, and there could be creepers anywhere. So what you'll notice is that I removed the Galactic Craft solar panels. Basically, they were causing just as much lag as these oxygen collectors were. So I replaced it with a huge array of solar panels, solar generators. Now, I don't remember if I showed this on the last episode, but I also swapped out the regular redstone with rednet cabling. And this just allows me to control things a little better. And I'm not going to go into super detail about it, because I might have actually showed this in the last episode. But basically, what the rednet cabling allows me to do, and rednet cabling is from Mine Factory Reloaded. This should not be connected right here. Is it allows me to color code, run one cable, and color code the edges that are touching. See, these are yellow, and these are orange. And then I could just control it from the computer. See, transmitting on yellow, transmitting on orange. So it's basically the same exact concept as before, but instead we are using the rednet cabling instead of redstone. Very simple, very easy. So what we are going to do today is we are going to use a player detector to detect when there's people around here, specifically within range of this dome, and only when people around here is it going to activate these Galactic Craft machines. And there's 2 reasons for that. First of all is the lag issue. Like I mentioned, for some reason these 3 oxygen collectors are just they're not generating lag, but they're generating a lot of latency. As I showed before in Opus, we could just bring that open again. Opus TE. As I showed before in Opus, and once it opens up, I can show it again. It is running at about 300 milliseconds or so each. It's bad. That's not good. So we are going to install, like I said, a player detector, which we have right here. The way a player detector works, and this is from, we're going to need that, proximity sensor. I'm sorry, not a player detector, a proximity detector. And the way this works is when a player is nearby, it sends a redstone signal. So as you can see, oh, I thought I could run it on there, but I guess I don't need to. As you can see, there's 3 modes to it. There is any player, owner only, any living entity. And what we want to use, see that's off, that's on. What we want to use is any player. So what it's going to do is when there's any player around within a 16 block radius of this, so 16 this way, 16 that way, 16 this way, it will send off a redstone signal. So the first thing we need to do is find a place for this. It's going to go pretty much dead center of this room, I think is the best place to put it. And then what we're going to do over here is, since now we are using strictly, I guess RF, I don't want to say thermal expansion, but RF for power, we can use a resident energy cell that feeds into here to be able to turn on and off the power. Very, very cool. So as you can see, I have resident energy cell hooked up all these places. We're going to pick this up for a moment because we are going to rerun this just a little bit differently. And this is just going to be so we are able to input the resident energy cell to just cut off this cable, which powers the Galacticraft, but it will not cut off that which powers the AE system. So let's just open up a couple more blocks here. That's okay. And then run this way. And then we're going to run this way. And we are going to put an energy cell right here. Cool. Like that. This is going to be out. Cool. So as quickly as it can get power, it's just going to send it out. Actually, we should lower that down a little bit. Yeah, because we don't want this. Yeah, this is going to slowly suck up energy. That's not a big problem. Actually, we should lower that max input. It's not a big problem if this slowly builds up energy. Well, because once it's built up, it's not going to matter. Cool. So now that we have this here, we need to meet up with this. And I think this is right now dead center in the middle. So this actually helps us out a lot. We need to meet up with this with the proximity detector, proximity sensor. Cool. So let's get over here. This is so slow. I miss my Boots of the Traveler. Until I can fix my Thaumcraft area, there's not much I can do about it. So we are going to go down 1, 2. And let's just get little. Now we should be able to just go... okay. That's not a big deal. Luckily, we're using red alloy, so we could just easily go right around this. Keep going. There we go. Cool. All right, so let's put this here. And now we are just going to run some redstone this way. Red alloy, I should say. And we should have a ton more. I don't know why I only took out 2. Okay, so we just go this. And we don't need to do anything about that. Oh, there we go. Okay. I think we need to put it on the actual wall. Yeah, we do. Cool. Now that is here. Oh, nope. That is here. Now we should be able to put the proximity sensor here. Set it for any player. Where'd it go? There we go. Set it to detect any player. Put this back down. Did I lose? Oh, no. It was a light. Yeah. Inverted light. Boom. Put that back down. And now we should, whenever anybody's around, these should be on. And then when we move out of its detection range, it should turn off. So let's see. I don't know how far the detection range would be. There's no real way for me to tell if those are on, is it? I mean, I guess I could just move out of here, run Opus, and then see what happens. If it doesn't show up, then we know it's off. It's only going to take 250 milliseconds. So I believe once we get this up and running, I am going to take a quick break, at least on air, from the moon stuff to just work on a couple other things that I wanted to work on. Oh, and we are done. So let's see. Is our oxygen collector still... Oh, it's probably still being powered. Oh, you know what? We didn't actually set... Right. We have to actually set the redstone energy cell to only turn on when there's a redstone signal. So right now, oh, there is a redstone signal, right? Yes. And I think we actually might have to put one more. We'll put one more right on the face just for good measures. So now, okay, so this is, let's turn off the input. Okay, good. So now you can see this is off, so we want it on when there's a redstone signal. Very cool. Now, when we move away, that should cause that to turn off, and we should be able to rerun Opus and not see our oxygen collectors using up all of our power. Now, the oxygen collectors do have an internal power buffer of itself, so we will have to wait for that to go down. So let me hang out here for a little bit. Oh, you know what? It looks like it already went down. Look at the map. Look at the map. Oh, you can't show it. In the top right-hand corner, the blue went away. Oh, wait, and it just came back on. Let me monitor this for a little bit, make sure this works, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Now, if you still look at the map in the top right-hand corner, it actually keeps flashing on and off, but I'm pretty sure these are off because I ran Opus. And see, now, right now, if you look in the top right-hand corner, the blue, it's not blue anymore. But I ran Opus, and my oxygen collectors are gone. Now, there's still a couple oxygen collectors and solar panels here. That is that stuff back there. I am actually going to disable all that because I don't think it's really needed at this point. If somebody wants to set up something there, they're more than welcome. But at the moment, all I think that's doing is causing us lag. There's already a couple of resident energy cells in there, so if for some reason somebody needs to use this room, they could just turn on the resident energy cells from that. But there's no reason to have these on all the time. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter because they're not going to be on all the time. You know what? Even though they're not going to be on all the time because this area is not chunk loaded, even when somebody's in here, there's no need for it to be on. Right. So let's put this stuff away. Cool. These should already be out. These, yep, okay, so this is already powered down. Yep, you can see all the torches are out because there's no oxygen here. And you know what? Let's run Opus one more time and see if there's anything left on the moon, which is going to cause lag. Running it. Cool. So once that finishes up, we will be able to tell. Hopefully, we should be good. I think we're good. I feel confident that we're good. So, what are my future plans for this data center? There's still actually a lot more work that I want to do. And I will continue working on this because I really like the moon. But I want to take a break from recording it just because I think, the last 5-6 episodes have just been this barren wasteland of nothing. And that's just no fun. So what I plan on doing is I am going to upgrade in there. I'm going to start transferring all my stuff into here. And I'm going to allow anybody who wants to hook up to it to hook up to it. I believe once I have this oxygen, see, basically what happens is during the night cycle, it stays up for most of the night, but because of those oxygen collectors and stuff are pulling 400 RF, it winds up killing it. It takes up too much extra power. So with those off, this data center should stay online all the time. And then even if it doesn't, even if that's not enough power, it seems like these solar generators are really pretty efficient because I don't see them show up at all. And we have quite a few here, so they seem to work really well. Oh, did I finish? Opus did finish, yeah. They seem to work really well, so I could always just add more to it. But that's kind of going to be the setup for here for now. So much better. There's an oxygen storage module. That's not too bad, but, I mean, look at that. So much better. I bet you I don't even show up anymore on the Opus chunk list. Oh, I guess I still do. What is... So, what was I just saying? that the solar generators weren't too bad, and they're not. And they're really not. I guess just that many of them put together kind of does a little bit on the server, but that's okay. That's fine. Just people with slower chunks. Benchy's actually working on an issue. Which this one? Oxygen storage module. Yeah. I guess I could get rid of that. I don't really actually need that oxygen storage module. I only put that there because I thought I was being clever, but now I'm thinking I'm probably just causing more lag than is actually needed. So you know what? We're going to just get rid of that. Yeah. And then replace it with this over here. There you go. Cool. Very good. So, in the next episode, I want to get back onto Thaumcraft stuff. We've been having, we updated Thaumcraft, and there is just a ton of issues that I'm currently having with my setup. So I will need, let's just get that all filled. Oh, that's going to suck. Okay, so this is going to fill up. So this is going to take another day or two to actually get back into cycle, because that's going to pull a lot of power until then. Anyways, I do want to start fixing my stuff. There's a lot of changes, also a lot of broken items, so we will take care of that next time. But for today, I think that's going to be it. Let's see, is this running now? And this is running. Cool. So when we're near it, it is running. We are getting... Oh, is this not sealed? Why? What about this? It's not like being sealed. Oh, that's a problem right there. Oh, I guess it's probably this block right here, isn't it? Let's see. Let's put that there. Let's see. Does it seal now? We'll pick that up. There you go. Does it seal now? Come on. Okay, I broke the seal somewhere. I'm going to have to find it. Shouldn't be a problem. Anyways, that is it for today. I will see you guys next time. Later.